Hi, LiberAnarchy here, looking rather disheveled. I'm responding to Autumn Black Star. I believe the video is called LiberAnarchy Ramblings. I agree with many of your points, and I share your frustration with people who will always equate their particular Therian side or otherkin side with anger. I also share your frustration with people who try to use it as an excuse for behaving in a socially unacceptable way. I heard a horror story. Well, it's not really a horror story, and this is secondhand, but it's kind of the worst of the worst. Where there was a person who claimed to be a dragon, and whenever this person did not want to come into work, she would call in and say that the electromagnetic field of the earth is affecting her in such a way that she cannot come to work. And she's like, oh, it's because I'm a dragon. Granted, this may not actually be a true story, but it is an example of how sometimes we have people using their particular identities as an excuse to behave in some less than admirable way. I would also like to submit that those of us who have learned, oh wait, we don't have superpowers. Oh damn. Goodness, we can't physically shift. Oh, this veil has not fallen and we haven't regained our true forms yet. Okay, maybe that's not quite how things work. Yeah, and as for myself, I was one of these people who, for a time, I was afraid of this thing called the corruption. Some people would call it the unmaking or dark fire. And I thought that dreams were reflective of actual events going on in the astral plane. Therefore, if I had a dream about some epic battle, well, surely I must have participated in that epic battle. Yeah. I have been through an extraordinary amount of dumb kin types. Part of my problem was that part of my problem was just a lot of wishful thinking. Part of my problem was that, excuse me, you had a whole bunch of people that they seemed to have a pretty good handle on themselves, and they knew their kin type, and I was like, well, I want to do that too, because I wanted to fit in and be accepted. And some of these people, now some of my friends, I would say that they were not, I would say that they did not actually have a good handle on themselves, and they did not have a good understanding of themselves. Whether or not they were actually otherkin, I don't know. What their kin type, their phenotype, their stereotype, etc. What they would have been, I don't know. I can't say. I won't attempt to say. I won't even say that they were lying. But what I will say is, I don't think that they themselves were too functional. And for me, my responsibility in that situation was, instead of saying, hold on, hold on, hold on, let's back up and let's question what we're saying. I realized that this or that or whatever was, I realized you had the experience of XYZ. Yeah, I'll give, Jane Doe the benefit of the doubt and say that she had the experience of XYZ. that does not mean that it is always literally true. So by the time people were that I knew that were claiming to be several anime characters and several very high and mighty things, I should have backed up and said, wait a minute. In fact, eventually I did. But, you know. But that was about, when I started, I got thrown out of that small clique around about the time I really just started asking questions and quit taking the things that they were saying seriously, because to my mind, you know, I'm about self-honesty and introspection, and that's what I want my other kin journey to be about. That's what actually ended up bringing me to other kin, and that's the sort of thing I want to maintain. But these are people who are like, man, when you get your powers back, you know, you're going, you know, when the veil falls and when you get your powers back, you're going to be really awesome. And naturally I wanted to believe that, but no. Sorry, that's just, mind you, I've been, you might say, awakened for 10 years. I still don't know how I identify, by the way. But I've been awakened for 10 years as far as, oh, I must be something else. And I've gone back and forth and this and that and this and that, on and off, on and off. I've believed a lot of really bizarre, dumb things, and then I've gone all the way over here and said, oh, well, the whole thing was crazy. I was completely mistaken. And, you know, now I'm somewhere in the middle. And I'm comfortable somewhere in the middle. And the approach I'm taking is, I'm trying to find a middle way between two extremes. Like, I try to be honest with myself is about how I feel without going off the deep end. But the reason I tell this story is because, yeah, I was a complete fool, basically. Well, live and learn. And I was one of the newbies that you would have gotten real mad at. And frankly, I share your frustration. Now, yeah, and it's real hard to know when to just say, fuck you, you're a troll, I'm, you know, deleting you from a forum or deleting your comment from my channel or whatever. Fuck it, go away. And when to say, okay, I understand that you're new, so I'm going to ask you questions about how you came to this conclusion, and maybe you'll go through your growing pains, but you know, I'm going to at least ask about the things that are coming out of your mouth. And I really do sometimes want to pull my hair out and say, are you hearing yourself talk? When you type these things on your website or on your posts, do you go back and read them? What do you honestly think of what you're telling the rest of us? Does this sound at all remotely plausible? And are you going to get defensive when the rest of us don't buy it? And it's really tempting to just completely yeah, well, let me just say that I am very glad that there were some people in the King community that just, they understood that I was new, and they were like, you're going to do what you're going to do what you're going to do. The best I can do is, you know, ask you how you drew your conclusions, and I can, you know, maybe tell you my story, and maybe that can help you a little bit, to help you to reflect on yourself and upon your own story and this and that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't I understand the temptation to just lash out at all the stupid newbies that they maybe see Twilight, and I think I'm a vampire or a werewolf or whatever. Whatever. And yes, I love Anne Rice, by the way. Now, I just don't think we should lash out at these people, and I'm not saying necessarily that you do. Sometimes I guess it's best to leave people to their business and just let people post idiotic crap. Goodness knows I have idiotic crap in old journals of mine, but it didn't really hurt anybody. It didn't hurt me. I had to go through my growing pains. I went through a bunch of I think I'm this, I think I'm this, I think I'm na 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 na. Yeah. Okay. Well, it was a good video. It was a good ramble. I gleaned a lot of points from it, even though it was a ramble. So don't worry about it. And I think in a lot of situations, I think with a lot of topics, it's hard to make a cut and dry, well planned video. You can do it, but have fun with that. I don't think otherkin lends itself to that, or in your case, therianthropy. In fact, I've run into Therians that don't even believe in otherkin in the sense of people being mythical beings, and I understand that. I don't take offense to that at all, in the least. I mean, I can see people who would look at me and be like, so you're saying you feel like a space alien? And we shouldn't laugh at you? Why? I mean, I get it. I understand it. I mean, at least with Therians, most Therians, some are dragon Therians, some are Therians that are like very, they're like winged wolves or something, but most Therians are animals that are on Earth here now. Some are prehistoric, some are just weird. Like I did run across a sea slug Therian. That was pretty interesting. It was actually a very pretty picture of a sea slug that I saw. But yeah, most seem to be wolves or big cats. Yeah, a lot of foxes. But okay. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So again, thanks for your ramble, and I hope that you got something out of mine. All right.